So what stands out to you so far with the ART21 Educator Program?
Well, I worked so hard to remember that guy's name already.
Poetic.
That was from yesterday. But now that I think about it, I'm thinking the question more globally, more generally, just how quickly I feel like we've been able to dive into things, and how much I already have that I want to take back with me and get started.
Right.
I'm really energized now for the school year to get started, so I can start putting some things into action.
Yeah, I think I found the same kind of. I had a similar response as far as like the energy level and like inspiration and stuff like that. Like all I want to do is just like grab the curriculum that I have and just start integrating and planning and like getting this stuff set up and put in motion.
Well, I have to say though, there's this other part of me that's concerned because there is so much, and so I think one of the questions is, what do you want for the rest of the time?
Sure.
And one of the things that I'm anxious to do is to kind of distill some sort of a focus,
right?
The whole plan, so that I actually have one, is going to be really important, so that I don't get back and go in all different directions,
sure,
and then end up frustrated that I didn't.
Well, I think if it helps, like one thing that I keep like going back to in my head is that we'll have that I'm thankful for is that we'll have like this peer group to help us like stay focused rather than like just being off on our own and losing everything. Yeah.
And
so
the questions,
right?
The homework.
And even the articles, I think for me, like I just keep coming back to those. Like it was like 5 or 6 points, I think, in that possibility article where it was talking about like structuring the classroom, where it's like play oriented first, and then it's like investigation or something like that. So.
Yeah.
I think how did the first 3 days? Yeah, this is a good one. How did the first 3 days measure up to what you expected, like in comparison to what you thought it was going to be to what it ended up being?
I really. The end of the year was such a whirlwind for me.
Sure.
I really didn't. I had no idea what to expect, and I think in part because I hadn't spent a lot of time thinking about what to expect. I tried to take care of the homework and things like that, but so I can't really say in terms of expectations. It's dashed or it's fulfilled,
right.
But I've just been so pleased with everything that it has turned out to be. And I think if I had expectations, it would have exceeded them.
Right, yeah. I know for me, like I think I didn't go in with any expectations because I really wasn't clear as to what I was getting into. Because I had like administration and even other teachers that were like, so what exactly is this? And I'm like, well, we're integrating contemporary art into the curriculum, and they're like, how does that work? And I'm like, I'll let you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, particularly for me, like you too are well, but what is even contemporary art was, defining that for me was so foreign. So
I really like the definition that they have, though, that it's like a lens to view things rather than an actual object or something like that. Like that just keeps resonating and sticking with me.
Definitely, and it makes it something that I, as a non-art teacher, feel comfortable taking into the classroom with my language arts kids. So
how long have you been teaching language arts? Because this is going to be my second year.
And this is going to be my 20th
year. Okay. So how does that, like for me, I mean, I've only had like 1 year of teaching experience, and I feel like the past like 3 or 4 days, I've grown as a teacher, more as a teacher than I did like the past 6 months. How do you feel?
I feel very much the same way, and I think 20 years from now, if you're still teaching, you will probably see that you'll have had this ebb and flow where you have these growth spurts. And this for me has definitely been a 3-day, 4-day growth spurt. And,
what does that look like? Yeah, before I speak to it, like specifically, what does that look? What does that mean?
Well,
that you've grown?
It means that there are years when I go back into my classroom and I'm excited, and I'm trying to refine what I'm doing. But this year will be a year where I see a dramatic kind of pedagogical shift, I think, in terms of how I go about doing things. And those shifts have happened along the way, but they don't happen every year.
Sure.
So that's.
Yeah, I think for me, there was like with that survey that we initially took, like it asked like what, it was like finish the sentence, Art 21 Educators is, and I put a paradigm shift, because that's that's exactly like how I feel, and I mean the first year I spent just literally just focused on like classroom management. That was the biggest thing. It's just like, and I had, like one honors class that I really felt like we had freedom to be able to do things, and the rest of it was just kind of like reining people in and keeping them, so and that's not the kind of teacher that I want to be. And I feel like this is really empowering me and giving me kind of the tools that I need to be able to be the kind of teacher that I want to be.
Well, I'm sure you will be.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will be.